Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the first episode of the final season of Ghosts. I am heartbroken it's come to an end, but it's been a really good season. If you are like me, you've watched it all already, multiple times, but some people are still watching it week by week, which I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you have the willpower, but that's amazing. And so because of that, please keep the comments in the comments focused on episode 1, so nothing about what happens at the end or in other episodes, so just episode 1. And this episode was obviously the April Fool's episode. I thought this one was a really good episode. It was a really strong one to start the season off with. I thought, yeah, just overall from start to finish, it was very fun. The energy was there. And, the little twist at the end as well, which we'll get on to. So about the prank that the ghosts played on Alison, obviously as a viewer I didn't fall for this because it was the first episode. If it was the last episode and they had pulled that, I might have actually thought for a bit that they had gone or something had happened to them or Alison had lost her power. But because it was the first episode, obviously as a viewer I didn't fall for it, but I thought it was a really good prank, and obviously they didn't mean to hurt her or make her really upset, but obviously it did because of what we know later on in the episode. But I thought this premise was really good. Them pranking her in a way that perhaps goes a bit overboard, and then Alison getting her revenge on all of the ghosts. I did think her death thing that she did where she pretended to die was really good. That was a really good prank. So I'm surprised that Kitty didn't fall for it, but I guess because she was with everybody else who immediately started laughing, she probably picked on that it wasn't real, because it was a genuinely really well constructed prank. So I'm surprised no one fell for it, but I liked the way that it led into her realising through the help of Humphry that she had to prank them all individually to be able to get them. And this led to just so much fun, and this way she just exploited little bits of their personality. I just thought it was really entertaining and really funny. I absolutely loved Humphry in this. I think he's such an underrated character and I love it when he makes an appearance. And again, it was a bit emotional because he was talking about how he always kind of feels left out and he's the punchline. He's only really brought in when they need something to throw about or need to use him as a prop. So I really enjoyed seeing him in this kind of light of getting revenge, and I thoroughly enjoyed him. I think he's such a good character, and just showing how fun and mischievous he can be as well. I loved Kitty in this episode especially. I just think, I think I said this last season, but I think just Kitty is getting funnier and funnier. She was always such a good character from the very start, but I just think just Lolly's facial expressions and the way she says certain things, it's just really funny. So her prank with pretending that there was a balloon, which was completely accidental. I would have loved to have seen how Alison's actual prank would have gone, what she was actually planning to do with the balloons. But Kitty fell for it immediately, showing how kind of naive she is and gullible. And then we had the little joke about gullible having Pat's face in the dictionary, which she also fell for. But as I said, her facial expressions when she found out that there was an actual balloon, it was just so funny. I think Lolly is such an incredible actress. I think Captain's prank was quite funny as well. I was surprised how easy he was to fool, but I guess anything army related he's going to fall for immediately. But it was set up very well with him talking about how he's not going to fall for it and everyone needs to be tough and stuff. But I thought his was really good. And Alison up in the window with the April Fools, showing the April Fools in the window. It was just very fun. I'm not surprised that Julian fell for his. I think that was classic. I mean, how else are you going to prank Julian? I think that just makes so much sense. And anything like that, of course he's going to fall for it. So that one I was not surprised by, but it was really funny. Robin's I thought was really well played. I think adding in, I just love that he's a ghost that is kind of haunted by animals. I just think that's such a funny concept, and especially with the bear in the last season, and now we've got the badger haunting him. I just thought that was really funny. I loved Humphry actually doing the prank in this one. It made it a bit different to all the other ones. But I thought this was a really good prank. Let's talk about Pat next. So Pat, again, Pat's always hilarious, but I think he was just especially hilarious in this. Just him talking about Alison being in the palm of his hands and eating it up. It was so funny. Him talking about how he's never gonna get pranked and how he's always because he's worked around kids all the time, so he always gets pranked. But Alison's pranks were genuinely really good. I was surprised at first that he didn't fall for the Scotch egg one, because I thought that obviously you think Pat would fall for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I thought that was a good prank. And then the cutting off the finger was really good as well. I think that one was probably her best like constructed prank. But the fire, I can't see that fire prank that she had actually working, because I don't see how that you would think, like, unless you filled the room with smoke as well, I don't know how it would have worked. But yeah, him walking out through the wall and just shaking his head at her was so funny. Fanny's one was good as well, because it was like a two-parter prank, which I thought was really good, because obviously she anticipated that Fanny would be smart and figure out that it was a prank at first, to then just get fooled again. And the tattoos are really funny. And I think probably the most controversial prank is the prank on Thomas. It is probably the meanest prank, but he is also the one that probably deserves it the most. So obviously this was her pretending that she had fallen in love with him, and that they were going to be a couple thing. But yeah, I definitely think it's payback for all the comments he's made about her, saying about how he should, like, she should kill herself so that she can be with him, and just all the continuous comments and stuff like that. And you know, you'd get fed up of it after a while. So I definitely think, even though, yes, it was probably the harshest prank, I think he is the one that probably bothers her the most. So I think he deserved it. I can understand why people thought it was really mean, especially because of his history of kind of like being rejected and not ever having someone, like, never having that relationship like fulfilled or anything like that. So yeah, I did feel bad for him a bit, but it was hilarious, and like I said, he did deserve it. Okay, so let's talk about the twist at the end of the episode. I figured this out as soon as she was sick in the bush, because that's always a thing whenever somebody, like a woman, is nauseous or is sick. It's always an indicator that she's going to find out that she's pregnant in like books and TV shows and films and everything. So yeah, that's when I knew they were doing this, and I am quite happy about it. I think it's an interesting plotline. I think it is kind of natural for their character. I think it adds that extra challenge of, oh my gosh, we're even more financially in trouble because we've got a kid coming. But I thought it was really well done in this episode. I think Mike's reaction was really nice, you know, just taking it in and kind of just being a bit shell-shocked by it, and then reacting so lovely. So that was really good. I loved Pat being there and thinking it was an April Fool's. And then just the reaction of all the other ghosts was really, really nice. Just everyone being so excited for them and so happy for them. I just thought that was really nice. And then, of course, the secondary plot line was the like insurance thing. So Mike having to try and prove that the lightning did actually strike the gatehouse, and that's what caused it to set on fire, and that it wasn't like a sham and they weren't trying to scam the insurance people. I think that was a good plotline to have. I think as we ended off the last episode with them being in this financial like uncertainty because they've lost their main stream of income, I think it makes sense that that's going to be challenged, because it is a very odd way for things to happen. I like that it was actually Mike in this episode who was the one who was having to kind of like adapt what was happening and like adapt the way he was talking about things, because he obviously couldn't reveal that like there were ghosts, because that made him sound crazy, even though he was sounding crazy. So I like that, because usually it's Alison that has to always try to almost like censor herself and always change what she's saying, because she doesn't want them to think that she's insane. So yeah, I loved all of that. I love that Robin's footsteps are still in the ground. I thought that was really cool. I think especially with him being kind of like illuminated by the lightning, it just kind of is that extra proof as to Mike that it is all real and Alison's not making it up. So that I really loved, and I loved him trying to explain the insanity of what happened, and the bear, and how the bear got hit by a tree that was struck by lightning, and just everything that went on this in the last episode was really, really entertaining, and how Mike was talking about it was great. And I think the insurance lady did know as soon as Alison was sick that she was perhaps going to be a bit lenient on them. I don't know. I think maybe she kind of figured out what was happening. And yeah, so I liked that part of it where she, you know, just accepted it, even though it was crazy. But I guess she makes a point that it's like nobody would make up a story that crazy, would they? So overall, I thought this episode was a fantastic first episode. It might be one of the strongest like series starters. I can't quite remember I can't decide right off the top of my head, but I thought it was really, really strong. I thoroughly enjoyed every second. As I said at the start, the energy was there like the whole time. It never dipped. It was just laugh after laugh after laugh, and then like, you know, those emotional moments. Like Thomas's one did make me like cringe a little bit. I did get a bit of like secondhand embarrassment, because it's like he should know by now that she is not into him, and he should have figured that out. But I loved all of it. I think there were loads of really sweet moments. Again, just kind of like the Captain and Kitty. I know it was only a brief moment, but when he made the joke about the whole Pat being in the dictionary and her falling for it, I think that's just such a nice pair, those two. I liked how she did manage to trick all of the ghosts, obviously excluding Humphry and Pat, but yeah, I thought it was really satisfying, because again, even though the prank wasn't that harsh, like it was quite a mean prank. I don't think it obviously led to a lot of emotions, but we know that now because she was pregnant, so she was a bit over emotional. But like, imagine how horrible that would be to think that you've lost like 8 friends. How many ghosts are there? Like, imagine like lots of friends all at once, and they're potentially there, but you can't see them anymore. Like, that would be heartbreaking. And I know it's only a small moment, but I liked how she called it a gift. Because we never really hear her talk too much about how she feels about being able to see them. But we obviously know that she likes them, because she's done really nice things like in buying them Christmas presents and doing lots of lovely things for them to make their afterlife more enjoyable. But I think it was just really nice how she referred to it as a gift. That to me is very like positive, and she obviously really values it and appreciates the fact that she can see these ghosts. So I thought that was really nice. Overall, for the whole season, I thought this was a really great season. I think the whole pregnancy storyline is done very well. And yeah, that's all I'm probably going to say, but I really liked all of the episodes this season. If you haven't seen them, you've got a lot to look forward to. But yeah, I'm not going to say anything on them yet. But if you also, if you haven't heard, there is going to be a Christmas special this year as well, which I was not expecting. It was announced like 2 days before the series started. So yeah, we're going to have a Christmas episode. So when you finish it, it's not the end. There is still one more episode, which I thought was really nice. Again, like I said, I really wasn't expecting it. I was expecting episode 6 to be the final moment, but it's not. There's a little bit to hold out for. And of course, we've got the book coming out soon, which I can't wait for. If you like this video, then please give it a like. It really helps the channel. And comment down below your thoughts on episode 1 of series 5 of Ghosts. Again, as I said, keep it limited to episode 1, like no spoilers for future episodes, and subscribe if you want to see more videos to do with ghosts. I'll have some out for you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.